Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be installing RetroSound audio equipment in my 66 Mustang, the gray one. So I have these kick panels they're going to be going in, and these are going to hold these 6.5-inch speakers. I'm really excited. I love car audio stuff. I haven't really messed around with it for a while, but in a previous life, I did this all day long. I was a car audio installer. My gray Mustang is quite loud, so any kind of audio improvement's definitely going to help. And I'm looking forward to getting these kick panel speakers in there. I do have another set that is going to be going in the black Mustang here at some point, but today, for now, we're just going to put them in the gray one. I'm going to take you guys step by step and show you exactly how I install it, and I hope it helps you guys. So here we go. Well, I finally have a few minutes, so I am going to start installing all of this car audio stuff. This is all from RetroSound. I bought all of this stuff like over a year ago. I have two sets of kick panel speakers right here. One for this Mustang that I have not touched, and another one in the gray Mustang. And then right there is actually a hidden antenna that I'm not sure if I'm going to use in this one or the other Mustang. Not quite sure yet. I'm going to finally get around to getting this stuff in the car now that my gray Mustang is all up and running after a year. So really excited. This stuff seems like really quality stuff. Huge shout out to RetroSound because I think this stuff is going to be great. I've heard really good things. Super excited to get this in the car. Man, that looks really nice. It looks pretty glossy, but once it's down there in the kick panel area, I don't think it'll really matter how glossy it is. The noise you're hearing is the bounce house. And that's the whole reason why I have a few free minutes to try to work on this. I'm going to let the kids occupy themselves with the bounce house so I can do some stuff. But yeah, I just got this out and it seems really good. Super excited to have some good audio in the car, especially now with the 347. It's pretty loud and you can't really hear much music. There. Here are the boxes. You can tell they've seen better days because they've just been kicking around here on my floor for, like I said, a year. But yeah, so this is what I purchased. RetroSound 6.5-inch speakers. Right there's the part number. So there's the box. Here are the speakers. And they're very thin profile. And they're going to fit right in there. Hopefully it doesn't get in my way of my foot or anything. Well, I'm actually not sure the speaker's really good anymore. The surround looks like it's come disconnected from the metal basket. Plus it's going to be pretty hard to get out because it's underneath the ducting that's over here. So it's going to be a little hard to get to. I don't remember how I got this thing out before, but I must have gotten it out at some point. All right, well, getting that speaker out is not happening, unfortunately. And I can tell the surround is definitely old. I'm going to have to replace it. I think I'm going to try to look around and see if I can get some tweeters to put up there, just like two. Caleb, come on. Goof. Caleb's obviously in here with me. But in order to get that out, I'm going to have to remove the black trim up there, which that sucks because I've tried removing that before and getting these screws back in was a bitch. So I'm not sure. Oh, I really wish I could just lift that up out of here, but that is not coming out. It's so close, but I'm going to have to remove that trim, I think. Oh man, it's just like 1/4 inch. And yeah, that sucks. So I think I'm gonna have to remove this trim in order to get it out. Oh, I just got it. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Hey, can I get like butter?
Oh my gosh, now I got Addie in here too.
Can you help me?
Oh no, I just lost the wires down there.
Can you help me?
Okay.
Addie, do this.
All right, so here's the speaker. Yeah, that surround is all coming off.
Meow.
Looks like a fine speaker. What is this? Classic car audio. Harrison quality. That right there.
I see. Addie wants to see. Addie, you know we're gonna go for a little drive? Yes. Like, take us to a drive.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to see if I can look online for a replacement speaker, maybe here in town, because there's a couple car shows I wanted to go to this weekend.
Close the
Today's
door.
Friday.
Close the door.
And I'm obviously a little busy. The bounce house didn't last long, did it, guys? Yeah, all right. Well, I had some ABS plastic around here somewhere. I just can't find it. So I'm going to use this plexiglass, and hopefully this will work okay. But what I'm going to do is make a bracket adapter from the 4x10 that's here, and I'm just going to go to Walmart and get some 3.5s. So I just traced the speaker that I had there, and I'm going to try to cut this out. And instead of trying to buy something off Amazon, waiting a few days for it to arrive, because they sell these adapters just for 10 bucks or so, I think I can make this one because I want to hopefully get this car together and running for this weekend. So yeah, I'm going to make this, and then I'm going to Walmart and just pick up some cheap speakers. Well, that didn't work. It just kept shattering. So unfortunately, that's not going to be an option. But thankfully, I do have this thin piece of wood. This is a very flimsy piece of wood, and that'll be fine. So I'm just going to cut this out and use that. There we are. Far from perfect. Definitely not pretty. But let's go see if it fits inside the Mustang. And I think it'll be fine. Looks like this wire's in the way just a little bit, but yeah, it'll be good, just like that. Now I'll go paint it. One of those days, it just started pouring. I just painted this. Hi, Addie, hi. It's one of those days. Pouring, just painted this. Oh. All right, just stopped over at Walmart, picked up these speakers right here. They will hopefully fit just fine right in here. But what I noticed, it comes with the bass blockers that I just bought, so I guess I can return those to Amazon, get my 10 bucks back. But if you don't already know, for these little speakers, I mean, even up to the 6.5-inch speakers, you really don't want to have a lot of bass going through them because they can distort. In a previous life, I was a car audio installer, so I know all about that stuff. But yeah, so you want some bass blockers on there, and pretty cool that this actually came with them. I mean, for 50 bucks, these were $10 that I just paid through Amazon. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to line these up, trace these out, and then figure out which hole saw I need to get those put in here. All right, there is my crude thrown together adapter. I only had a 3-inch hole saw, and it really should have been like 3 1/4, something like that. So the speaker doesn't quite sit all the way in there, but I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to put a layer of black paint on it, and then I'll screw these speakers down into that, and it should hopefully sit right in there. Definitely feel like this is cobbled together, but I don't really want to waste a lot of time or money. I just want to get the speakers done. This was supposed to be just a pretty quick and easy job with the RetroSound speaker kit that I had that I'm finally getting installed. But here we are. I'm going to throw these together, put the bass blockers in, wire it all up. It's getting pretty late, so I'll do that probably in the morning. I just did a little layer of paint on there, just trying to be as careful as I possibly can because I don't want to get the overspray everywhere. But while I have that drying, I just took off the original kick panel here and compared to this one, where you can see is a lot glossier. I'm hoping it's not an issue. I'm gonna go put it in place now, and I think probably it would be best if this was painted like a flat black, but I don't really want to screw around with that, and I honestly don't care too much because the paint on my dash is actually already pretty glossy black, so I guess I don't mind all that much. But just so you guys know, that's the difference in the finish. Then here is one of the speakers. The grill right here is just pops out the top, and then I'll screw that down in place. I'll probably run the wire first, have the wire sticking out here through the hole, and then I'll screw the speaker in. So I'm back here at the vehicle. I did have to remove the sill plate in order to get the kick panel out. I was hoping I can get around it, but the sill panel overlaps the kick panel, as you can kind of see on that side over there. So I did have to remove that. Hopefully it's not gonna be too bad getting all back together. I just carefully ran the wire, just tucked it up behind the steering column and a bunch of other stuff. And for now, I just have the wire coming out right here, but I'll have to, I know, it looks like a rat's nest right now. It is crazy with all those gauges there, but it is actually all done correctly. It is just a mess that I still need to clean up back there. But somewhere up in there are the speaker wires. I think I even see them. So here we are with the new kick panel. Wow, it even has this little expanded piece to go around the factory rubber right here. I think I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. Well, I'm running into an issue right down here in the corner around this lip. So I just went to get the original one, and it looks like it is expanded right here, but this one is not. So I think I'm gonna have to trim some of this in order to get it to fit in there. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I'm gonna work on that. So here's the original one, and you can see how smoothly it just goes right up into place. No problem. Just fits right there. And that's just a little bit thicker right there. If I take this out and try to put this one in, it looks like the top and middle would all go, but not this bottom part. I'm gonna have to do some trimming. There, that seemed to work out perfect at the first try. I just cut off a tiny little sliver, just like this. I think it was just in that position right there, and it seems to work really well. However, I might take off a little bit more so it's not rubbing on the paint right there, because I don't see any issue with taking down just a little bit more down through there. Okay, got the sill plate all put back in place, and I'm just looking at the speakers before I get them in here. They really don't seem like they're gonna be like ultra high fidelity speakers or anything. I think they're gonna be just fine. It does have a rubber surround, and it's a paper cone. Hopefully they'll be okay. I think the tweeters from Pioneer actually seem like they're maybe a better quality, even though they were only 50 bucks. I forget how much all this stuff was, but it's not especially cheap. But we'll find out how they sound in the end. But just so you know, they don't seem like anything too substantial. But let's be honest, if we're driving one of these cars, we're not really doing it for the audio system. All right, this part is always tricky, trying to get the screws into the holes without poking the speaker. I've done that before in my life as a car audio installer. You just have to be very careful. I got a little tiny drill bit. I'm going to very carefully drill a little pilot hole, and then it does actually come with screws and these guys here, but I'm screwing directly into the plastic, so I'm not going to use those. But here are the screws that it comes with, and yeah, just gonna drill around the surround to get it in. I have 2 in so far, so now it will hopefully be easier to get the rest of them in there. And I just popped the grill on, so there we are. Looks like there's still about 4 inches between the speaker and the clutch pedal. So once I get it all done and I can sit in here with shoes on, I can see how the clearance is all the way around it. But there we go, there's one. Not too bad. Now I can do the other side over there. I think this job is probably only maybe an hour-long job. Not bad at all. I think the hardest part is going to be getting to the speaker wires. All right, and same thing with this side. I am going to have to trim just down here just a little bit in order to get that to fit in there. And running the speaker wire is pretty easy. All I did is just tuck it up underneath and behind some of these other wires that are up here, so that way it won't hang down and I don't need to zip tie it to anything. Just run it up and behind. I ran it up behind this duct, up behind these wires, and coming across, and then down behind the kick. So that's all very easy. Okay, speaker number 2 is in. One thing I'm noticing though is that there is no screw holes for the OEM screws that hold the kick panel in. So there's one somewhere down here. I think there's one somewhere up here, but you don't really know where they are. Oh, it looks like I got to push that back in. But it kind of flops around. I really hope it doesn't make too much noise. If that becomes an issue, I might have to just freaking rip a screw through here, which would suck. And that popped out. So I'm gonna try to get this sit in here a little better. And the speaker grill should just pop on. There we go. But yeah, that is super loose. That's ridiculous. There should be the OEM screw holes, but I don't even know where I could find them. And there they are, both installed, probably 30 minutes or so. And honestly, the glossy finish, I can't even tell. It really does not even matter. I have LED lights under here, so it is reflecting that light a little bit, but if anything, maybe it'll improve my under dash lighting. I'm really not too worried about it like I thought I was going to be. But now it's time to get to the wiring. Well, here's my concoction. Obviously not perfect, but hopefully it'll work. And I just extended the leads down there a little bit so they can run down into the dash. That should be plenty, but I just want to make sure I didn't obviously go too short. But yeah, so here it is. Now I'm gonna put it in the dash and see how it works. I'm gonna put the camera down because I'm definitely gonna need 2 hands for this one. Well, I got the wires dropped down the sides, and this fit in here pretty well, just kind of sitting there. I'm hoping the grill will hold it all together a little bit better. But just as I was afraid, I cannot find the screw hole to get that screw back in there. So that's just a huge pain. I hate messing with those screws up here along the trim. I'll keep messing with it, but I just having a hard time trying to find that hole. Well, there we are. They are all installed. I started playing some music, started testing it, and I just realized that anything I play is going to get me demonetized. So I can't really play anything and prove to you. So I don't know. I guess I can't really do that, but they do sound really good. I'm going to go for a drive a little bit later, and I'll report back and let you know how they are, like with the engine going and driving down the road, because this is definitely not a quiet car. But hopefully they have helped and they have improved the sound. I did get everything buttoned up together up here. I cannot find that stupid screw hole, but this whole window has to get replaced at some point because it leaks a little bit in the corners. So I will let the installer worry about that. So as for the side, I don't have shoes on, obviously, but it seems like there's still plenty of clearance. Like, that's not really an issue. I can still get my foot around to get my high beams, so that's not an issue. But yeah, all in all, it took me like an hour. It's really not too bad for an installation for these things. And that was with doing the speakers up top that I really didn't have to do, but I think it's going to help the sound. Oh, I should also talk about the ohms and ratings and stuff like that a little bit. Normally with an average radio, you can only have 4 ohms of speakers on each channel. Each of these speakers are 4 ohms. So normally you would just want one of these. And then anytime you add more speakers, it's going to take away from the total power that can go to each speaker. I've been doing car audio stuff for decades, but when you use bass blockers, it gets rid of those basically. So the speakers up top, the radio doesn't see them as a speaker, but they'll still play, of course, and you still get sound and everything out of them. But normally if you wire a 4 ohm speaker and a 4 ohm speaker together in parallel, that's positive, positive, negative, negative, it would be a 2 ohm load that the radio would see. But for some reason, when you add bass blockers, it still sees 4 ohms. It just sees the 4 ohm speaker. So I'm probably butchering that. I really don't know the technical reason why. That's just how it is. So I've got the 2 speakers up here wired in parallel with the 2 speakers down here in the kick. And the radio only sees 4 ohms for that channel, 4 ohms for this channel. And then I do have speakers in the back, and those are 4 ohms each as well. And this is an upgraded radio from Custom Autosound. It looks factory, but it's not. It's actually aftermarket. It still probably does not have a ton of power. So that's why I'm curious when I start driving it, how much power it's going to have to these speakers and how it's all going to sound. That's it for now. In the next clip, I will do some testing for the volume level. Well, we've been driving along for, I don't know, almost an hour now. I'd say the radio sounds really clear. It's really good. Again, I don't really want to turn it on because copyright stuff. But suffice it to say, it does actually work really well. There really is like almost no bass, so that doesn't really help. There's not really any low down bass or anything, but I'm kind of okay with that because I just wanted to be able to hear the music as I'm driving, because again, it's a very loud car. But yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with it. I would definitely do it again. I honestly don't remember how much all this stuff costs, but I think it's worth it. And I do notice the speaker here a little bit with my left foot. I used to move my left foot just around to the left of the pedal. So I do feel it, but it's really not in the way, not really an issue. But all in all, I'm very happy with it. So if you ever want to get these speakers, I highly recommend them. But thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.